My name is Jaycee Dugard. I'm a survivor, and this is my story.
It's a parent's worst nightmare, having their child disappear without any way of finding them. I was born on May 3rd, 1980 to Kenneth Slayton and Terry Probin. Growing up, my father was never around. My mom soon married my stepfather, Carl Probin. I had a relatively normal childhood, going to school, hanging out with friends, and playing with my stepsisters. Back then, the phrase stranger danger was never a big deal. Everyone knew everyone, and walking by myself at the age of 11 was a normal occurrence. On June 10th, 1991, everything seemed normal. I left my house to walk to my bus stop about a block away. A car I didn't recognize pulled over. Believing they were just asking for simple directions, I walked over.
Little did I know that this car held my future captors, Philip Gregoretto and his wife Nancy.
Philip reached his hand out of his car and sudden pain took over my body. I was physically stunned before being lifted into the car and shoved into the floorboard. I later found out that my stepdad Carl witnessed the entire ordeal while watering the garden, and in an attempt to save me, he hopped on his bike and sped towards the car. Even with his best endeavor, this was proven unsuccessful, and thus began my 18 years in captivity.
The truth was unfortunately evident.
I was kidnapped. After arriving at a house a couple hours away, I was immediately stripped of my clothes and forced to shower with Philip before being handcuffed. I felt so violated and helpless, but this was only the beginning. The only thing I was able to hold on to was my purple butterfly ring. I hid it from them for the next 18 years. It was my reminder to hold on to hope. For 18 years, I was kept in a tent outside the Greretto's house, exposed to unrelenting torture and abuse. It never seemed to end, and at the age of 13, I found out I was pregnant with Philip's baby. It hurt so much knowing that my child would be brought into such a toxic environment. And on August 18th, 1994, when I was 14, my first daughter, Angel, was born. 3 years later, my second daughter, Starlet, was born. Nancy forced me, Angel, and Starlet to call her her mom, which further entertained the fantasy that she created. I finally began to lose my sense of identity. For the preceding years, I continued life with the Grerettos. At one point, they knew I was so brainwashed that they let me go into public with them, even working as a graphic designer at their print shop. I can recall so many times where if I had just said one thing, I could have been saved, but I didn't want to risk the lives of my daughters, who didn't even know I was their mom. On August 29, 2009, myself, Angel, and Starlet accompanied Philip to UC Berkeley College as he inquired about a religious issue. They told him to come back the next day, but due to random nature, one of the workers had the police conduct a background check on him. Due to his position as a registered sex offender, it was of great suspicion, and his patrol officer was contacted and informed that 2 children had come with him to campus. The officer arranged a meeting, and the truth came out. Philip and Nancy Greretto were arrested, and Philip was sentenced to 431 years in prison, and Nancy was sentenced to 36. I found peace in knowing that the horrific people who kept me for so long would finally get me. After I was rescued, I lived with my mother. I had regained custody of my daughters and wrote 2 books, A Stolen Life, a memoir, and Freedom, my book of firsts. But most importantly, I realized hope is necessary, and there is always a ray of light in the darkness. It seems so often that I'm asked if I hate my captors. I might say I do, but the real truth, I don't believe in hate. To me, it wastes too much time. People who hate waste so much time of their life hating that they might miss out on all the other stuff out here. So much of my childhood was taken from me. I was no longer that sweet, innocent 11-year-old. The fact is that it happened. It's over now. And I cannot live my life constantly wishing that I could change the past. While it might sound cliche, live every day like it's your last. Even if it's just one thing or person you have to be thankful for, that is enough.